Hello, the game has started. It's my opponent to go first. I've got a really non-bingo-y rack, but I would hope to play through this. I have quite a few short words which are going to score well and help the rack. Fizz, Zex, and Vixen. Okay, not a very helpful opening for me because C only takes an H after it, so I'm inhibited from making parallel plays. Now I have Vernix. That's nice because it gets rid of the V and the X. 32 points, an okay score, and I'm not giving too much away, and my F can go next to this I. I have Zoftig as a 6. Not seeing a bingo here, with or without a floater. I have the IZE ending. Now I have Fizz in column 6. V is similarly blocky to C because it doesn't feature in any two-letter words. C only features in one, so these two tiles are likely to disrupt development of the top left of the board. Well, so much for that. A great bingo by opponent. Upgirds for 87. What has opponent provided? Is there a way of getting my Z tripled and the word doubled? Don't think so. Not seeing anything better than Fizz in the top left. So I have Fizz for 45. Do I have anything better to the left of Vernix? No, it's quite handy getting rid of the F as well as the Z. They're the two non-bingo-y tiles. Wow, what a pickup. Absolutely fantastic. I have Todgers and Stodger with the blank as an S. Do I have a play in column 8 beginning or ending in S? Well, yes, because I have Stodgers. Fantastic. Will that stay available? XI takes nothing in front. So opponent may be drawn to block this S, given that he's got a 40-point lead to preserve. But I'm optimistic that I'll be able to bingo somewhere with this rack. Fizz takes possibly a Z after it, but that doesn't help me. Scroze takes an E in front. Again, I'm not immediately seeing a bingo I can play in that spot. Do I have anything with the G? That would get doubled. So 2 Gs. Possibly Toggered. Okay, well, I certainly will play that if no other bingo is available. And the problem with Toggered is that it opens up column 1, but any play through the U is going to open up row A. And that's why I prefer Stodgers. Not only is it going to score more, being tripled rather than doubled, but it's also not providing access to triple word squares apart from as part of a bingo. So are there any other options? What about Gorgetted as an alternative to Toggered? Possibly. Opponent may play down from this double letter square onto the S to try and obstruct all bingo lanes. But surely he's not going to prevent me bingoing somewhere in some fashion. Not seeing anything through IF. What about down from the S? Maybe opponent will play across from P or G. Oh, well, it is. I have Stodgers top and bottom. Cub does not take anything in front. B does take a vowel on top, so I think I'll play Stodgers here for 83. Not bad. That looks fairly close to a bingo. I have the LY ending, and apart from the Y, the tiles are bingo-y. 3 L's slightly problematic, but ALLY is an ending. So what would that leave me with? DEL. Quite a few floaters to consider. And I also have the ALDI prefix. I'm not seeing a bingo here. Fortunately, I have the Y for score. So if I can play off the Y and a couple of L's, I should leave a decent rack leave. No obviously great Y spots. I have something like Yodel. That only plays off one L. Great, only 18 for opponent, and he's provided a new opportunity. So I could play Dally. Let me be sure I don't have a bingo with the V. Not seeing one. So what does Dally do? 26 points, an okay rack leave, slightly vowel heavy, but they're good vowels and they go well with floating consonants. And there are two available in the S and the T. Laldi also available in the same spot. I don't think there's anything to distinguish between those. Not sure about Ledley. I don't think that's good. I am going with this. Well, I draw vowels and that is the risk. 5 of them. Do I have a 5 vowel 8? With the S or the T? I don't think I do. And I'm going to struggle to score here because I've only got 1 point tiles. So, I could play Boo. It would be nice to play off one more tile, but Oboe not available because GE not good. What about playing off more tiles? Arioli through an A. Maybe worth considering. There's still one blank to come. I lead by 40, but that's pretty precarious. Do I have anything through this Y? When you've only got 1 pointers, it can be useful to look for scoring tiles on the board. Well, nothing great through that Y. Yale is the best I can see, and I certainly want to do something about the duplicate O, preferably playing off both of them. What about a play through XI? A play beginning Oxy or Exy? Not seeing anything. V is available, but my O's don't go next to the L. Wow, opponent was taking a while, and this is what he was building up to. Fantastic bingo. What to do here? 75 points, he takes the lead. And it's a nice open board. I need to maximise the value of my rack leave. I was thinking about Louvre. I'm not sure if it's just Louvres as a plural of Loof. Not seeing anything through YU. Let me just try this. I don't think it's good. It's not. Do I have anything across from the Z? Well, not which gets doubled. Close to zooliter. What about playing Boo? 20 points. Slightly vulnerable to drawing vowels, but I do have the floating S and T at the top and R and S at the bottom. I'm going with this. Great, I draw only consonants, I think. So, do I have a bingo? Well, I have Polterer through the R, yes. Okay, that's one. I mustn't forget column 2 is a bingo lane for bingos beginning with E. I'm not seeing one with this rack. Great, Polterer remains available. But do I have a bingo beginning with S? Poulterer will provide access to column 15. So, prelates, which would also play in row N. Surely prelates has got an anagram. Not seeing it. Well, what about lanes for sevens? I don't have anything. Well, my P can hook YU. So prelate and Petral. And R can front hook YU. Replate, possibly. Well, that's going to provide access to row O. Poulterer is not bad, because this R is covering the double letter square, so it stops opponents scoring massively with a non-bingo. Poulterer for 78. Wow, great pickup. I'm not seeing a bingo, but it's balanced, and I've got the J for score. Through R and Y, I would have Mary Janes. That's not going to happen. Any great spots for the J? The nice thing about these big tiles is sometimes you can get bingo-y scores with them for non-bingo-y plays. Well, I'm not seeing any such play. Jit, not good. I'm expecting opponent to play in column 15. So a play of just JA would leave a really good rack leave. But is there a good spot for that? Not sure there is. I've got Jamb, or Jam, in row J for about 30 points. That's good. I think the M helps AENS, but there is another one to come. And the M not only helps it in terms of in being a bingo-y set of tiles, it also helps the vowel-consonant balance. Opponent taking a while with this play. Jam takes an E and an O and a U after it, so it will be creating a hotspot. But that hotspot would create access to a triple word square. And in any event, I'm expecting opponents to take that out right now. Now, what about a play in row N? J something something S blank. Wow, I'm not seeing anything, but that's the sort of opportunity which would be a bingo-y score. I've got Jam in row M. That's quite nice. Well, I thought it would score more. It's scoring about 30 points, I think. Great. Only 18 points. Wonderful. So, these are my choices. I could play Jam here for 34. Setting up a new bingo lane. Do I want to do that? I lead, so not really. Jam here, 31, dropping 3 points. However, creating pretty much nothing. An O can sneak between J and L, but this isn't a huge spot. And the J is also disrupting the A of Guava as a bingo floater. Still 2 floating S's. I've got the Ness ending in row N. Just checking I'm not missing a bingo this turn, and I'm not. I don't think Unbears takes a T. Pretty confident about that. Jam for 31. Yeah, I'm going with this. And I draw the Q. How irksome. That's going to interrupt my scoring. Onto a T, I would have Canat. Not seeing any T's. I could play Chi or Chin in row E. No I for Chi in row M. Opponent has created a new lane and scored well. And gotten rid of non-bingo-y tiles. Now, are there any floating U's? 3 have been played. Not available, not available, not available. I'd like to play off Q and A, so is there a T available? or an ID. This ID not in the right spot. Only 3 T's have been played. Jam has blocked cat. How irksome. Tricky. Do I play through this or do I change? I'm not going to score very much, I don't think, with the Q. What about retaining the Q? I've got an O for Jambo. This is a much trickier position than I was envisaging when I played Jam. Actually contemplating changing when you keep EANS. Pretty grim. And, well, I still lead, but only by 20 points, and if I change, I won't. Let me check the remaining vowels. 14 out of 27, so it's vowel heavy, so if I play off just chi, good chance, more than 50% chance I'll draw a vowel. That's terrible. 12 minutes on my clock. Q is my only scoring tile. What about playing over in column 11? There are 3 I's to come. If I draw one, I can play chi for a big score. Let me just check the U's for souk. Nearly. No. How many T's to come? 3. So is there anywhere great for cat? Well, I could play cat up the top. So, what can I do with my non-bingo-y tiles? I've got an O. So I've got ON. Can I make a longer play in that spot? What does this score? 20 points. Gosh, this is a really tricky position to be in. What about playing Yuan? 21 points. And creating new floaters, which I don't want to do since I'm ahead. Where can I play off just vowels? Really struggling here. And if I change, I may draw the Q again at a later stage. Probably will. Okay, I feel I've spent long enough on this play. I am going to change. Get rid of Q, O and A. Keep AENS. Well, non-bingo-y, but pretty good because I should be able to score with the K and the H. In fact, having kept A and E, I draw no vowels at all. So, where can my H and K play? Well, I could play Kith, keeping Stain, that's pretty good. 21 points. Great, very small score for opponent, so I still lead. I've survived that crisis. So anything better than Kith? That rack leaves quite attractive, so playing off just H and K is nice, especially as I don't want to turn over tiles with this Q out there and all these vowels. I could play Piker, 30 points. That's worth considering because the A in a vowel-heavy bag is not that useful as a floater. But this rack leave is not as good as Stain. Stain was a monster. and there is a really good 7-letter lane in row N. I am attracted by that. But is this the best spot for playing just K and H? Where else can KH play? Caillou is good. Okay, well, there may be a better spot, but I'm minded to play this. Kith for 21. Wow. I dodged the cue. I draw the blank, having played only 2 tiles and an L to go with it. That is insane. Absolutely fantastic stuff. I have a 30-point lead, but I'm in a strong position. Remaining tiles not particularly bingo-y. So, do I have a bingo beginning with S? Yes, I do. I have Saltines. So, why not just play it? I'd be creating a new bingo lane for bingos beginning with S. Should I be looking to avoid that? I don't think so. I think I'll struggle to put a vowel. Let me just put this back. Can I place a vowel at the end of this word? So ending E. No. No, I can't easily see that. So saltines for 73. And I now have a 70-point lead. I'm not quite home and dry, but look at the remaining pool. Only 14 tiles left, 7 of these in the bag, 7 on opponent's rack. And I can't see any bingos from these 14 tiles. And the F and the Y are non-bingo-y consonant, and apart from that, there's only NNT. Well, I guess there could be a bingo. Hopefully not down from this S I've just provided. But I may be able to outrun one. Unless opponent's got a bingo with F and Y in it, an IFY word, but I'm not seeing one. I'll be looking to leave 1 tile in the bag. 7 in the bag at the moment. Opponent may well try and create a new bingo lane. What do I have down from PI? Now, no O's to come, so I could actually play across the bottom of him with a G under PI. Ami is good. So I could play Agio. Interesting. That would score quite nicely. 23 points from this very unpromising rack. 8 minutes on opponent's clock, 7 on mine, so neither of us are in time trouble. Now, opponents played Liu for 19, leaving 5 tiles in the bag. So Agio leaves precisely 1, which is the aim. Nothing goes under pig that's left. I am creating a new 7-letter lane for bingos ending in Y. Good grief. So notify is a 6-letter play. But I'm still not seeing a 7-letter bingo with these tiles, so I'm going with Agio. Still not seeing a bingo. All there's teeny E. If the Y's in the bag, opponent has got a bingo. Oh my word. And I've created a spot for it. Is the Y in the bag? But if the Y's in the bag, opponent, I get to have another turn, and I lead by 90, so I think even if opponent bingos with teeny E, I think I can score enough with my F. Fantastic. So I think this game is mine. But is it? And where can my F play? Well, not underneath this E to score twice. Jambo is good, but I'm not playing my F there. aft is good. I can play OF. Fantastic. So, opponent plays off 2 tiles, leaving 6, so he can't bingo. Fantastic. And I'm not even sure he can go out in 1. What I'm looking at is of, for 32 points, can I then go out with this rack? Possibly Sutton? I don't think so. That's a shame. Of is a nice score, but if I can go out in 2, I probably should. So what do I have ending in E? Phone. Let me see what that looks like. 27 points, and am I going out with 2? I've got Soot. And I've got 2 and How, so I think this is the play. Our opponent's got Teenier on his rack. He can't play that in row O, or indeed anywhere. Now, where's the best spot for 2? So Soot, 5 points. Oot is also good, 9 points. A double T is good, but I think that spot's going to go unused. Yeah, just not seeing anywhere better for 2 than row O. What about beside phone? 14 points, well that certainly is better. Opponents blocked that, provided nothing new. So Oot for 9. And the final score, 395 for my opponent, 474 for me, a winning margin of 79 points, so a huge, huge win. Let's see what I missed. Fancier even game. No. Now, let's see what I missed. I wonder what even game means. So, opponent to go fast, and he has 2 S's. 29th game without a blank. Okay. Now, my rack. Did I really have both blanks? Okay, I guess I did Stodgers and Saltines. Now, opponent got off to a great start. Well, firstly, this is my Vernix rack, and I play Vernix, and I like it. Opponent's rack, brilliant spot here of upgirds. My rack, and I play Fizz. That looks fine. Opponent's rack sorts it out nicely with Cub. Such a crap one-sided game. Nonsense. It was fantastic, fantastic fun. Now, my rack, and I play Stodgers for 83, and Stodgia was available coming down, but these are all much of a muchness. Opponent's rack plays Guava. Phew, no missed bingo here. I think this is a rack where sometimes there are words with 3 L's, and it's very easy to miss a bingo because whenever you see a triplicate of a tile, you tend to dismiss the bingo possibilities, but I didn't miss one here. Yald for 30, D12, across, opening up column 15, so what do? I play Dally for 4 fewer points, and I like that. Now, another great bingo by opponent. Unbears for 75, and at this point I trail by 30. What do? I play Boo for 20, which is pretty much the most on offer here, and I think keeping a better rack leave than these plays. Opponent's rack plays Iwi, and now I have Poltra for 78. Replate was good, and a few other bingos, but Poltra scores the most. Opponent plays trend. And now I lead by 20, which is very little indeed, but I've got the J. 8J. Japan's through this P. Very nice. Yeah, and there's still the blank to come, so playing just Japan would be risky. What do? I play Jam for 31, which is down here, and F14. Well, Jam down there scores a bit more, but opening up column 15, so I still like my play. Japan's does burn the S, so I don't think it's a better play than Jam. Opponent's rack pretty grim, plays him. Now, I was in a tricky spot. Wow, I didn't consider this. F14, ANSI, ANS, and of course use takes nothing. Yeah, that's probably better than changing. 35 points is half a bingo. The Q's only worth about -8. OQ probably only about -15 at most, so ANSI would have been better than changing. So often the case with changing, there is a better play which doesn't involve changing, but I looked for a long time and I didn't see ANSI. Opponent's rack also struggling with vowels, plays ear. Wow, missed bingo, carnates through this A. Wow. Gosh, and that A is massively in plain sight, so big miss there. What do? I play Kith for 21, good grief. And N6, Carnate available, running underneath the bottom of him. But Kith does keep a pretty fantastic 5-letter set, but Carnate's definitely better than Kith. And opponent's drawn the Q, fantastic. Plays Chi. And I draw the second blank. 29 games without a blank, that's quite remarkable. If indeed it's 29 successive games, that I guess it must be mathematically possible. So I play Saltines for 73, H2, there were better plays coming down column 2, which might have been worth doing. They would have provided access to the triple word square, but they wouldn't have provided bingo floaters, and they would have obstructed row N, so probably these H2 plays are better than Saltines. Horrible rack for opponent, plays Liu, and now I play Agio to leave 1 in the bag. Opponent's rack is grim, but it was a grim bag, so there's not a lot he could do about that at this stage. Plays YE. I play Phone for 27 to give myself a guaranteed out. No out for opponent. He plays Ita. And E2. Gosh, 2 playable down here, parallel to upgirds, would have scored 14. And I get 9, so 5 points dropped at the end. So what a game. Nearly 500 points for me. It didn't feel like that sort of game. It felt quite tight, and it didn't feel high scoring, but I guess there were just an awful lot of plays and the scores ticked up to result in this big final score. So jolly good fun. I hope you enjoyed watching that game. Many thanks to my opponent for a good battle, and I will see you next time.